Hello, everybody. So quick update on where I've been. I had a chiropractor appointment today, which tried that years ago, didn't help, and I was better off back then. But this guy, he clearly loved his job, and he was so nice, and it took everything in me to be super nice about it, because I didn't want to piss in his Wheaties and ruin his day. But yeah, I'm in more pain now than I was when I went in. But I digress. Anyways, started recording this last night and it got super long. And my internet is as slow as molasses in the wintertime and it did not upload. I cannot wait to get Starlink. So this will have to be split into two. Anyways, meet Bret Michael fan page. I found him and sent him that "why you always lying" thing. And he sends question mark. I said, "You are not Bret Michaels." He responds, by the way, this guy uses ChatGPT a lot. And how it didn't pick up that I was talking to him in song lyrics is beyond me. But every now and then, one of them actually comes in and starts talking. And you will be able to see exactly where. He says, "Hey, I'm sorry if I gave you the wrong impression. I'm genuinely just here to connect and get to know people. If there's anything that made you feel like I'm being fake, I'd be happy to clear it up. I'm being honest, and I'd like to continue our conversation if you're open to it." So I said, "Oh, sure, why not?" Like wondering where it was going to go. He says, "Awesome. So what's something you enjoy doing in your free time? I'd love to learn more about you." So I said, "When I feel a bit naughty, I run it up the flagpole and see who salutes," which is Flagpole Sit Up by Harvey Danger. He says, and you'll see that this guy says "ha ha" and the words "rock and roll" a lot. He says, "Ha ha, that's one way to test the waters. So what's the most adventurous thing you've ever done?" I said, "I got my head checked by a jumbo jet. It wasn't easy, but nothing is." Song 2 by Blur. He says, "Ha ha, sounds like you've had quite the wild ride. I've got to ask, what's the craziest thing you've done for real?" I said, "I went to Bitburg, then I went for a cup of tea. I also made friends with the homeless man," which is a combo of two Ramones songs. Bonzo Goes to Bitburg and Poison Heart, their best songs. "Sounds like you've had some interesting adventures. What's the most unexpected place you've made friends with someone?" I said, "My basement. I kidnapped this guy, clubbed him on the head, dragged him to my basement. And when we wound up speaking, turns out he was kind of nice. 14 years later, and we're still the bestest of friends." He says, "Ha ha, wow, that's an interesting way to make a friend. Glad to hear it worked out, though it sounds like you've got some great stories to tell. Got any other wild adventures up your sleeve?" And then I, totally bullshitting, obviously. "This one time back in 1997, I hijacked a space shuttle and then had them take me to the ISS, and I forced them to do my bidding. I made them hold hands and sing Subway of Your Mind in a ritual to the goddess Penzacador Fart Muffin." And Subways of Your Mind might very well be the most popular, famous song right now. The most mysterious song ever has been found, so look it up. "Ha ha, sounds like you had a pretty out-of-this-world experience." Laughing emoji. "I bet you have some serious space travel stories. Did you ever get a chance to hang out with any aliens while you were up there?" I said, "Yes. His name was Ben Dover. He was absolute about the probing, but I wouldn't let him. That zero gravity thing." He says, again, "Ha ha. Ben Dover sounds like quite the character. I totally get the zero gravity thing, though. Makes everything a bit awkward. So what did you and Ben talk about after you set those boundaries?" Like, what the hell kind of questions are these? Excuse me. I said, "We spoke about why the Thompson twins were allowed more than one hit in America and not AHA." He says, classic debate." I didn't know that was a debate, but okay. "I've got to say, Take on Me is a masterpiece, but maybe the Thompson twins had the edge with their dance moves." Didn't know they were dancers, but all right. "What's your favorite 80s hit that should have made it big in America?" I said, "I don't know. If it didn't make it big in America, how would I know, dummy?" "Wait, I remember one. It's called Stinky Harry by Mike Hunt." My friend and I were just laughing about that time in concert when you stopped performing to release a fart that got trapped in the ass of your leather pants. You had been sitting and singing Something to Believe in, because this guy's totally not reading a word I'm writing. He says, "Ha ha, Stinky Harry by Mike Hunt, huh? Sounds like a real hit. I bet that song really stunk up the charts. Got any more hidden gems in your music library?" So going back to the story where he had a fart trapped in his pants, I said, "You stood up and walked off stage, shook your leg, and promptly came back." He says, "That was a shy moment for me." I said, "It happens. So at this point, you'll notice somebody is really there." I said, "It happens." He says, "Yes." "I didn't even ask for the name?" ? "And where you from?" ? Which kind of startled me. And I said, "What? What are you talking about?" When he said, "I didn't even ask for the name." He says, "Your name." And then to "and where are you from?" I respond, "Saturn Valley in Eagleland. Boing. My name is You're a Homosexual." It's Polish. He says, "Are you being serious now? It's proper of me to ask for your name." I said, "You tell me, Bret. Your English just slipped. Bret, you're being xenophobic again. And by the way, I can see Rebecca." I said, "What idiot uses their real name on Facebook? Besides celebrities, I mean, y'all have to. It's like a law." Just thought I'd fuck with this guy some. He says, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, were you not paying attention when Biden had a dementia spell and made it a law in 2021? Or is your diabetes acting up and you forgot? I know that can happen. My cousin has type 4 diabetes. If a name says it's a celebrity, it has to be. Otherwise, the celebrity can get into trouble and face fines. Like if you put up a profile that said your name was My Anus, you'd get into trouble and the public could theoretically sue." Excuse me. He says, "Okay." I said, "Okay." And then he comes back to ChatGPT. "Ha ha. I must have missed that law when Biden had his dementia spell. I didn't realize My Anus was such a legal minefield. Ha ha. But hey, I'll make sure my name checks out to avoid the fines. As for my diabetes, it's behaving." And then he immediately adds, "Ha ha. I get that you like to joke around, just trying to keep up with all the humor, but let me know if I miss anything." So I respond, "I know. I'm feckin' hilarious." And then I said, "My anus tends to be a huge minefield. Too much milk and ice cream, and there's more flow than M&M. Too much cheese, and it's backed up like traffic in downtown." He says, "Ha ha, you're definitely a pro at turning the humor up to 11. I think I'll take your advice and keep my dairy intake in check. Don't want to start any traffic jams down there." I said, "It only matters if you're lactose intolerant, dingus. I didn't know you were." He says, "Ha ha, touche. I guess I'm safe for now, but I'll be sure to steer clear of the cheese mountain, just in case. I'm just a regular dingus with no lactose issues, unless you count bad jokes as a condition." Okay. I said, okay. Come on, Bret. You've got to pick up the pieces. Come on, sort your trash better. Pull yourself back together. Maybe you've got too much cash." Once again, Bonzo goes to Bitburg, their best song. He says, "I've been picking up the pieces and sorting trash for years, whether it's guitars, my hair, or my wildlife choices. But hey, too much cash never hurt anyone, right? Just means more room for rock and roll. You ready to join me on this ride? And so help me, I wish I had a nickel for every time he said or referenced rock and roll." So I respond to that, "No." And I said, "Like the wind from somewhere. Let a smile be your companion," which is Subways of Your Mind. He says, "Whoa, a hard no, huh? But hey, if you're not feeling the solo ride, I'm curious what's behind the no. You just too cool for this rock star, or is it the hair?" What? "Gotta know what's stopping the party. Ha, well, no worries. More room for me to rock solo then. But hey, if you change your mind, I'll be here, living the dream, one hit at a time. Until then, I'll just keep strumming and smiling. That's how we do it in rock and roll." This scammer's ChatGPT is really making Bret Michaels come off like a pretentious douchebag. And then I said, "I don't know you. Something in your eyes makes me realize how strange it seems. Something in your smile could be up on trial of broken dreams. You're counting all your sheep in disguise, caught up in the world of lies. The internet doesn't forget, Bret. And then I continue. Everyone knows it. You've got ulterior motives. Tell me the truth. Now, that is another Lost Wave song that was recently found called Everyone Knows That by the St. Booth Brothers. It was found in porn. Funny story behind that. Look it up. Bret, you can run on for a long time, but sooner or later, God's going to cut you down. Yeah. And at some point, I get very preachy here. Excuse me. Whoa, looks like you've got me in the spotlight now. You're right. The eyes have a way of telling stories, but don't get too caught up in the broken dreams and world of lies. I'm just here to rock, have some fun, and maybe share a few truths along the way. You got me my ulterior motive, just living the dream, one solo at a time. But hey, if you're curious, I'm an open book. What do you want to know, babe? Ha ha. Well, I've been running for a long time, but I ain't afraid of the cut, babe. I'm a rock and roll survivor. God might cut me down, but first, I'll make sure the world remembers this ride. And then I continue with God's gonna cut you down. Well, you may throw your rock and hide your hand, working in the dark against your fellow man, but as sure as God made black and white, what's done in the dark will be brought to the light. And then I changed the lyrics up just a little bit, hoping that that might end this, what I think is kind of boring, but I said, go tell that long-tongued liar, go and tell that midnight writer, tell the rambler, the gambler, the Nigerian scammer, tell them that God's going to cut them down, which the lyric is actually backbiter. He says, quotes, ha ha, you got me on blast with these lyrics, but hey, I'm no stranger to the spotlight. Whatever's done in the dark just makes the light shine brighter. You can bet when the truth comes out, it's gonna rock. So tell me, what's been hiding in the shadows for you? I said, love. I've been looking for love in all the wrong places. It's like shadows. You only find criminals and abandoned kittens. And then, with the quotes in again, he says, ha ha, looks like you're rounding up all the troublemakers. Don't worry, I'll make sure to pass along the message. God's got a way of dealing with everyone. From the midnight riders to the scammers. But hey, I'm just here for rock and roll, not the drama. Also, excuse the loud-ass cars going by in the background. He says, love, yeah, it's a wild ride, ain't it? I've been down that road too, looking in the shadows, finding all kinds of things, some good, some not so much. But you know what? Sometimes the greatest love stories start in the strangest places. And hey, criminals and kittens might just be part of the adventure. I'll tell you this, when love comes, it hits like a power cord. You'll know it when you feel it. So, what's the next step in your story? And then I said, quote, and I left my quotes in, God gave rock and roll to you, put it in the soul of everyone, which is from Kiss. And I said, well, as to what my next step in my story was, I said, the humidity is rising and the barometer is getting low. And then in parentheses, I said, how low, girl? And then I continue, and according to all sources, the street's the place to go. Then I said, yep, I'm going to go out. I'm going to let myself get absolutely soaking wet, winky face. And quick interjection, and then I'll read his next message, and then we'll save the rest for the next video. As far as the song, It's Raining Men, I often sang that when I was a little girl. And when I was a little girl, I really thought they need umbrellas because if they go out, it's raining, they're going to get really wet. And then one day, as a late teen, I heard it again. And I went, hey, wait a minute, wait a damn minute here. So, yeah, kind of funny. He says, ha ha, I see you know how to keep it rocking. Humidity rising and barometer low sounds like the perfect conditions for a good time. And not true, that usually means a tornado's coming where I'm from. Sounds like the perfect conditions for a good time. And you're right, the streets are the place to go. Let's hit those streets and make it a night to remember. But hey, just promise me you'll keep that smile shining. You're the one who's going to light up the city. Ha ha, I like your style. If you're going to get soaking wet, might as well do it in true rock star fashion. Loud, wild, and unapologetic. But hey, save some of that excitement for when we hit the stage together. Let's make it a night that's unforgettable. And I will start recording the rest and hopefully get it up tonight. Can't promise that. Remember, slow internet. Anyways, thank you for watching.